Hello. Welcome back to Well Red Wool. This is episode 6. We didn't post last week because I don't know, some of you guys may know this, some of you guys may not. I have a brain malformation called Chiari malformation, and I suffer from very bad migraines, and I had a migraine last week. Um so we decided to not to record it, not to post. But we are back. How is your sweater coming? You have like a sleeve and a short.
Yes, it's coming along well. I should be finished with it because tomorrow is a knit-a-thon. So
Oh,
I
okay.
got 12 hours of knitting. So I should be finished. But I got a 3/4 sleeve. I'm doing good.
It
I've
looks
been
really good.
I've been picking it up more often.
So then you'll be able to take it with you to Nashfest, but is it gonna be too warm?
We're inside, so I don't know. But I still got to pick up for the button band. Even if I'm not doing buttons, I still got to pick up around.
And then you gotta weave them ends in.
Ooh, baby.
Ain't that a task from the devil himself?
It is. And then I got to weave in the ends from inside the sweater to inside the
Well,
sleeve because
nobody's
all
gonna
the
see that,
true, but still,
but
it's
that
gonna. I'm
probably
gonna feel
irritates you
it.
in your
Yeah,
arm. Oh, okay.
yeah.
Sensory.
So I'll just probably turn it in, the whole thing inside out and manage those. But it's
Okay.
I find myself picking it up more often now. So
Okay, because I know that you were kind of in a.
yeah, I was in a rut. I don't know why.
I would say like how I get in a reading slump. You were in like a knitting slump.
Yeah, I honestly because I um just would look at it and I would
You
pick
go
up.
on about your business.
Yeah, I would pick up a book or read a, listen to something. Um, because I haven't even been watching the shows. I've been listening to books more than anything else. But I have, since I finished the one sleeve, I have been more consistently picking it up. So
Yeah, you're
it's
not
moving
watching the
around.
shows is why I live in a hostile environment
Uh,
because I don't have anybody to talk to about the pit.
I'm so sorry. I will catch up on the pit tonight. I'm only. I just need to see this episode. I mean, I'm up to date.
Next week is uh
The finale.
yeah. And then we got to wait a year. I really would like for them to do the night shift. I want to see, you know.
Do you guys watch the pit?
Yeah, let us know in the comments. Are y'all a fan of the pit?
Shirley got me hooked on it. I wasn't.
Um
I hadn't been watching, so I had to go back and catch up. But I'm enjoying it.
yeah, that's how we did our coping with the loss of Gunner. We watched Dunkin' Egg.
Yes,
We watched the pit.
yes, and we
Um
started. I like to binge. That week to week thing gets on my nerves,
I don't
and
know. I
I
kind of like
forget.
it.
I forget is what happens to me.
Okay.
Um,
Excuse me.
so I rather go, and if there's a bunch of episodes, just have me a good weekend of watching.
I I like specifically with the like Game of Thrones shows.
Well,
I
that yeah,
like the week to week build up because with Game of Thrones you can watch it multiple times and still miss
5,000
so
things.
much.
I swear.
Um so there's that. The spinoff of The Handmaid's Tale, The Testaments, that's on. And I don't know that I could sit and binge that if it was a possibility. Even though I did sit here yesterday and watch. I was supposed to be editing and I was very much glued to the television to know what was going on with June's baby. But you mentioning like you forget. June popped up on the screen and I said, well, I thought she was dead. I didn't know what all was going on. Um so I do plan to do I'm gonna read The Handmaid's Tale. I'm going to read the Testaments because I have questions. I did start season 1 of The Handmaid's Tale. I watched a couple of episodes of that yesterday and re-traumatized myself in a lot of ways. But I do, and I won't go off on a long tangent, but when we talk about adaptations, I think with Hulu specifically, I know you read Black Cake, right?
I did,
And
yes.
you watched it. Did you think that that was a good adaptation?
It's not standing out to me, so I'm saying I guess it was okay.
Okay, but
It's
it
not something
wasn't
that like, oh my god,
right.
it was just okay.
So to like kind of give you guys a standard of what we think are good adaptations, we both really enjoy Devil in a Blue Dress by Walter Mosley. The movie has Don Cheadle and Denzel
Denzel.
Washington. Thank you. We also like Ptolemy Gray.
Yes.
That was a very good adaptation.
Now I didn't
Oh,
read
you
the
didn't read
book.
the book.
Right.
Okay.
I didn't read the book,
I
but I enjoyed the show.
I think that that's a very good adaptation. Um, what else can I think of off the top of my head? I don't know. Handmaid's Tale, right? I think the Handmaid's Tale, the Testament so far, those are very good adaptations. I do want to go back and reread to be able to like say that a little bit more confidently. But I was very much glued to the Handmaid's Tale when it was coming on season to season. Um, but it's been very interesting to see how much care they take with things like, like White Authors versus Kindred by Octavia Butler. Like that adaptation was terrible and bad. And if there are no haters of that show, I have gone on to glory because it was terrible and bad. Like it made a spectacle of a book that is having a very very like deep conversation. Um and all I really can remember from that show is that gal was uh time traveling, just all this hollering and screaming. It was terrible and bad, but I am the Testaments is a good job. I also watched Scarpetta, which is a adaptation that has Shelby Charades. Who is the lady? Michael Myers. What's her name? She was in a Michael. Oh, my mother is looking at me. What is the lady name that was in the Michael Myers movie?
Okay, I can see her face. I can't call her
Okay,
name.
so she's in it, and if it's not Renee Zellweger, what's that other white lady?
No, oh well, there's that. Mm-hmm.
One of y'all, I can hear one of y'all going. Their names are Scarpetta cast: Nicole Kidman,
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Mm-hmm.
They're in Scarpetta. The whole family needs a therapist. Everybody, and I think individual therapists. I don't even think that that a family therapist would work. It needs to be. But apparently that's a adaptation of a very long series.
Well, that's a good segue into what we're going to do today because I have Waiting to Exhale here
Okay.
as one of the books that I was reading in the 90s.
I feel like that's an adaptation that is way better than the book actually is.
Yes.
And maybe even the soundtrack by itself.
Yes. Yes.
So we have all of these books here because we didn't read anything this week to review, but we're going to talk about some of the things that Mom was reading in the 90s.
Yes, because I'm sure you guys have seen the trend on social media is like, what was my mom like, or what were my parents like in the 90s? And people are posting pictures of themselves from the 90s. And that gave me the idea to talk about what I was reading in the 90s. So Shelby likes to talk about the different phases. Hold on, guys.
She got to finish counting. Y'all have seen, if you haven't seen already, the previous episode where I was mentioning, like Mommy said, that your children experience the different phases of your life. Like as you are living for the first time, just like your child, but your child is able to see that you are living for the first time, although you are their elder and you are in charge of taking care of them. Um, so yeah, and reading was a part of every phase.
Pretty much.
It just was, what she was reading at the time. You will see some of this might be a little suspicious. So that was your warning because I believe she took that one book off the shelf, and
I
the first
did.
time I saw it, I said, I know somebody in here is lying to me.
So, so we can start there. I often would find self-help books, um, relationship related, um, your own self confidence or your own growth. So there's a lot of, if we go that route, because Shelby likes to talk about my Jan Levincent
Rhonda.
phase.
Her mama named her Rhonda.
Okay,
So
so
I'm
we
gonna call
have
her
some
Rhonda.
of that, and
Do y'all know where that quote is from? Where the original quote is from? That's another adaptation. The reason that Tyler Perry did Think Like a Man, or whatever the series is called, is because originally it was a book.
right.
So this one is called In Search of Good Pussy, Living Without Love, The Real Truth About Men and Their Relationships, Just Telling It Like It Is.
So
There are pictures in here. I've
just
never opened the book. There are pictures
you,
in here. It's okay. I'm going to put them on the screen.
the gist of the book is really kind of telling you what men are looking for in relationships, right? So in this case, I think the author was going for the shock value with the title because it is absolutely not about pussy.
In Search of Good Pussy is an explicit, personal, social, psychosexual perspective defining what makes men tick, specifically what makes black men tick. That feels like an incomplete sentence.
So
Through and historical through a historical periscope. Who edited this? The personal, social, political, cultural, and economic conditions of the black man are viewed.
so
What?
give them the name of the author and that
Don Spears. Is he still with us? Is he in this realm? I have questions. What is he doing today? Who drew these pictures? Him? What is this? What is this? It's a black man somewhere look just like that right now.
so self-help.
Oh, this one says, everybody get your notebooks. You got your things.
Oh,
Good pussy is whatever absolutely makes your day. It is the feeling or that thing which gives you undeniable euphoria and brings true rapture. Just think of the best thing that has ever happened to you. That was good pussy. But again, you really did not know how to associate it with anything else in your life. It was just a feeling.
so segue from there using pussy as an analogy to good things um, that happen in your life. We're going to segue to Iyad Levincent in the meantime.
That's another good album.
True. Finding yourself and the love you want. If you remember, if you are a Jan Levincent fan, you remember she had the Acts of Faith. Um, that was that daily. Um, that's when we first started looking for a daily like. What am I trying to say?
Affirmations?
Affirmations.
Okay.
Yes, that's she started that. But what I love about in the meantime is your tissue box over there?
We need to dust these
Yeah,
books, y'all.
because they've been
Right.
sitting. Okay, so Iyan Levincent, in the meantime, Shelby did mention there is an album to this that is amazing, top to bottom. Every song on it I love. But what this book does is take your spiritual growth, your spiritual being, and compares it to a house. So much like the average home, you store things in your basement. And that's where your junk is. That's where the things about yourself that you don't like or you would like to improve are in the basement. So each level of the house signifies your growth, right? This particular book, my one of my girlfriends and I, we, oops, Shelby gonna choke me to death. I just had the microphone in my hand. My one of my good girlfriends, Amina, and I, we talked in the meantime. Like if she said, like, how you doing today? I was like, girl, I done got comfortable in the basement, or I'm solidly on the first floor, but it kind of like the book explains to you like there's holes in the floor that if you haven't done your work thoroughly, you could slip through and
That doesn't sound
wind
terrible.
up in
Like I
the
kind of want to read it.
yeah, you can wind up in the basement again. So, and the goal is to get to the ultimate level, which is the attic. So, this is a very good book, and like Shelby said, the soundtrack is the CD is amazing.
Right.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
That
It's
mean
amazing.
tail heifer, Kelly Price is on that album singing "Ain't No Way,"
Yes.
singing the kneecaps off that song here, and Yolanda Adams. I am
Yes.
just
Yes. So to kind of give you
a.
some ideas of the chapters, right? So chapter 1, it says love's got everything to do with the meantime. Chapter 2 is know where you live. The basement. Chapter 3 is spring cleaning. First floor is doing the laundry. Chapter 5, cleaning out the refrigerator. The second floor, let's do a little dusting. Get the ring out of your tub. Take out the trash. Between the second and third floors, cleaning off the dresser, cleaning out the closet. The third floor, pull up the shades and let some sun in. Rearrange the furniture. And the attic, put your feet up and relax. So it really is your psychological growth
Mhm.
being compared to a house. So this is a good book. And then after that,
I believe she has a new book out.
does she?
Yeah, I
Well,
don't know what exactly it's called,
so
but I'll look into it for you.
okay, so this one is Yesterday I Cried. And I opened this one and I almost cried because there's a note in it from one of my girlfriends who I was just talking about. So she must have bought this one for me.
I call them
Um,
the aunties.
um, so it says in the cover flap, what is the lesson in abuse, neglect, abandonment, rejection? What is the lesson when you lose someone you really love? Just what are the lessons of life's hard times is what this book kind of goes
I
through. So
might have to read
celebrating the
Rhonda's.
lessons of living and loving.
I might need to read Rhonda's books. She's not
Yeah.
terrible. I just always see her in my head hollering at that man. She was making that man on that episode hold all them baby dolls because he had 57,000 children.
So
And then her slamming her, not on my watch.
I think in the 90s I realized that I needed some healing, that I had some baggage that I was carrying around and I needed to do something with it. The rest of these books that we can kind of go through, I just kind of looked on the shelf. We talked about Walter Mosley before. Um, this, and I always wrote the dates. I was reading this one in June of '94. This is Black Betty. It's a part of the um, Easy Rawlins series. They're all colors. The first one is Devil in a Blue Dress, and then it's Red Devil, and then it's is it White Butterfly, and then Black Betty, or something like that.
So,
Yeah, Devil in a Blue Dress, Red Death, White Butterfly, then Black Betty, and then it goes on. There's all sorts of colors.
it is, I
Little
can't,
Brown Dog and
right. I can't think of any off the top of my
Yellow
head for
something
real.
and
It's a
yeah.
green one in there.
Yes. So I loved Walter Mosley. He is where I fell in love with mystery. I think this was my first um is when I decided that I loved reading mystery. Also, you'll see that I was heavy on supporting Black authors. Shelby mentioned this book. This is Medea Uninhibited Commentaries on Love and Life. Don't Make a Black Woman Take Her Earrings Off by Tyler Perry. This one is autographed. This is when Shelby was saying,
Right, we would go
we
to.
bookstores and see authors. And again, you know, kind of giving you some ideas of how to deal with life, right? Um, like it says here, the 10 Commandments. If any of you, after you finish this book, say, I want to become a Medea, I have some advice for you. Here are the 10 Commandments of being a Medea, according to me. Keep it real. Say what's on your mind when you feel like saying it. Life is hard, so laugh even in the moments when people think stuff ain't funny. I have sat in funerals and found something to laugh about. So have we. But you've got to be careful when you do that because you can laugh too hard. There's a very simple secret on how to handle this very sensitive and dangerous situation, which you will learn later if you read on. Eat, live, and die. Don't worry about dieting. Don't worry about exercising. Whatever comes on, let it stay on. Do unto others before they do unto you. If they have done it unto you, you haven't done it unto them. Do it twice. Pick up sticks, live richly, even if you're poor, by eating rich food. Whatever you've done in the past is done. Don't be ashamed of it. As long as it didn't involve animals or children, you're all right. You are with the rest of the world. Stand up straight. You will get better with time. This is the final commandment. Live every day like there is a tomorrow to make it up. Live like every day on this earth you have a tomorrow to apologize.
That don't
So,
sound too terrible. I
again,
mean,
so,
and it seemed like Barnes and Noble's been putting stickers on books since Jesus was a boy. Whoever did that, and then this, I don't even want to attempt to.
take it off at this point, right?
Oh no, I think because
You
it's
got it.
whole, it's peeling easy. I ain't about to risk that.
Yeah.
It's
Tear
just
the
gonna have
book
to
up.
say, yeah, that hurt my little feelings.
Um,
What's this?
this another thing that I would do, and how I was introduced to a lot of different authors, were I loved a good anthology. I loved a book featuring a bunch of short stories and a bunch of authors, different authors.
I
So
feel like that's
this
not done
has
much anymore.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Like they do I forget what company that is. Just how many times three? Gay.
Is it evenly 19? So the 19 times 3. Yeah.
So it's
So,
about 60.
yeah, different authors in this book. Um, and it's edited by Terry McMillan.
That's
Um,
very interesting because they don't do a lot of this anymore. There's a specific, I forget what publishing company it is, but
mhm.
every year they do for specific genres and they have different authors come.
Cause
But like anthologies are not.
you got Jake California Cooper in here. You got Octavia Butler in here.
Gail
You
Jones,
got Alice Walker in here.
Ernest J. Gaines. I would
Mhm.
love to read that.
Mhm.
Percival Everett,
Mhm.
Tony K. Bambara.
Yep.
She make me feel like I read with my finger.
So that there's a bunch of Tina McElroy Ansa who I
This
love.
this name is Alice Walker,
Yep.
John Edgar
Mhm.
Wideman.
Mhm.
Okay.
So this was a nice way to kind of taste an author without having to buy a full book. You get a whole bunch of little different short stories in here, but you get a good taste. And this was one of my favorites. So it's called Breaking the Ice, an anthology of contemporary African American fiction edited by Terry McMillan. And this, did I write in this one?
I'll try to link all of these down below for you guys.
So I have check marks next to some. So Gloria Naylor is in here.
It's called Breaking Ice.
Uh-huh. I have the check by Ernest Gaines in my father's house, so I must have enjoyed that.
Okay, so this I have found on Amazon. You can order it.
Terry McMillan is my
Let me
dear.
see.
So I kind of
But wait,
checked
it said
off.
in my father's house is what you said?
Yes.
So that's I just bought that. So I wonder if this is because that says so this must be maybe a chapter out of it. That's
Could be.
interesting. Like how many of these things became
Full-fledged books.
right because that's so then what's yeah, just like Sutter. Sutter is by Percival Everett. I have that.
Okay.
I have that. It's in there. I have that. So like I'm curious if these are just
So maybe that's when they were first starting. Maybe that's, you know what I
right
mean?
because
Kind of.
I mean that gives you an idea of how authors say like things take years.
Right.
So, okay. I'm very interested in this because, like I say, anthologies are not very. There are only a few I can think of off the top of my head. So this is very interesting, especially with all of these authors in it. There's another one that you have too that I was like, I never considered that this was a thing.
Yes, I was good on grabbing those again because you got an opportunity to be introduced to different authors
Right, but I'm
and got just a
imagining
taste.
like these are, you know, these
Right?
are
Did
our
they
greats
turn
now.
into?
Like
Oh,
Percival
absolutely.
Everett,
Right. 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 Right.
Tony Cable Bart, like all of the people that we mentioned. Octavia But there's an Octavia Butler in here.
Mm-hmm.
What? That's insane. That's very insane.
I did
Okay.
good. I did good. Every time she go on my bookshelf, I just grin because I be making her
Where
proud.
is it?
Although that has water stains all over it, but still.
Yeah, that's embarrassing. We're gonna get another copy to, you know. So yeah, uh I'm gonna have
So
to keep
while
this
she's
out.
going through that, I will say I think I've said
Wow.
this
Okay.
before.
I'm sorry.
What
Wild Sea. Wild Sea is like that's a whole series.
is it?
Yeah.
From who? By who?
Octavia Butler.
Okay.
And she is our great when it comes to sci-fi.
Right.
So like Kindred that I was talking about earlier
Right.
is Octavia Butler's book.
Mm-hmm.
It's also funny that the preface is by Edgar um what's our uncle's name? Where is his book at? I just opened that too. Nope, wrong person. John Edgar Wideman. Because he is always writing the preface and introduction to somebody's book. Uncle
Okay.
has been here since the beginning of time
Okay.
in every bit of literature. If he's still alive when I happen to release a book, I'm going to ask him as a rite of passage, whether he like it or he don't. You have to do it, sir. This is what you are here for, our elder. But yeah, this is Ishmael Reed.
Right. So some of the authors that are in there that I also loved, Tina McElroy Answer.
Yeah, may she rest in peace. She passed last year.
So this is one of my favorite of her books, the hand I fan with. She was single and she was ready to mingle, so they conjured up a man.
They did what now?
Listen, they conjured up a man. So it says, best-selling author Tina McElroy Answer is back with another tale from Mulberry, Georgia, the richly drawn fictional town and home of the extraordinary Lena McPherson. Lena, now 45 and tired of being the hand everyone fans with, has grown weary of shouldering the town's problems and wants to find a little love and compassion for herself. So she and her friend perform a supernatural ritual to conjure up a man for Lena. She gets one all right, a ghost named Herman, who, though dead for 100 years, is full of life and all man. His love changes Lena's life forever, satisfying as never before both her physical and spiritual needs, filled with the same humor, grace, and great respect for the power of the particular as her previously critically acclaimed novels. Baby of the Family, Ugly Ways, and The Hand I Fan With is yet another memorable, life-affirming tale from one of America's best-loved authors. So, and I think Baby of the Family and Ugly Ways is on the shelf as well.
Okay. Yeah, they are. Um oh, these are stories. Okay. Um that sounds like I read a urban fiction. I can't think of the name of it right now, but her and her friends, it was Halloween and they got together.
Mm-hmm.
They had them a Ouija board
Mm-hmm.
and some candles.
Mm-hmm.
And after her friends left, she heard something and she went to go get her little gun. And he was like, "What you doing?" And then he proceeded to put that lady through the mattress. It was a very good time.
This,
Oh,
yeah, mm-hmm, handles her.
oh,
Uh-huh, yeah,
every way but loose, huh?
everywhere.
Oh, okay.
As you
Yep.
kids say, they put it through the mattress.
Through the mattress.
That,
Okay.
that's, yep. Mm-hmm,
All right.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay. Maybe I'll make this a book club pick because they've been.
And then staying on that same realm,
Uh huh.
I think we all were reading Zane back in the day.
I guess I shouldn't say. I shouldn't agree because I didn't have no business.
We already know. You told me a million times that you, because I would these books, because I want to say I have multiple Zane books. So
Yes, you
Addicted,
do. Mm-hmm.
The Sex Chronicles, Shattering the Myths, Getting Buck Wild, Sex Chronicles 2. I think they're all on the shelf.
They might still be back behind where
Back
she hid them.
behind, yeah, where I
Mm-hmm.
hid them
And
at,
where I put them back
where
to.
you put them back. Hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I probably started the spicy stuff because I got. Speaking of anthology,
I feel like now, in hindsight, the things that I read that I consider spicy make Zane look like
a church girl.
yeah, they wasn't even
Absolute,
hunching real hard in them books for real.
absolutely. Speaking of anthology, there's an anthology down there that's an anthology of spicy stories
Oh, okay.
too.
Yeah, no, I mean Masterpiece, ML Bash and them, they make Zane look like
Yeah, they
she
do.
was quoting us Bible verses.
Bible quotes.
Yeah.
I
Uh-huh.
agree. I agree. I also was reading Elin Harris in the 90s. I'm going to say I have just about all of his books on my
Absolutely.
shelf. Um,
Oh wait, I wanted to say, and this there's a note in this one too.
is it?
Yeah, from Auntie Stacy. Stacy Smoot.
Oh,
You gotta take a picture of that and put it in y'all's group
I
chat.
do. What does it
And it was
say?
for your birthday, apparently, because it
Yep.
says A6. Love you like the sister I never had.
You know what, Shelby?
Huh?
That's when Daddy died.
Oh. Okay.
This was after his funeral.
Okay.
This was the day. My grandfather died August 1st, 1992. And his funeral, by the time they worked out with everybody, the military and all the police departments and PBA and everybody else, his funeral wound up being on my birthday. So my girlfriend Stacy was Debbie with her? I think Stacy and Deb came to the house, and I opened the door and they pushed the hat and they was like, pick a piece of paper, and whatever number was on the paper, they said that's your birthday this year. And Stacy must have given this to me as a gift because that was the day after my grandfather's funeral.
Wow.
Because she had taken me to see Two Trains Running, was a play in New York City.
Okay.
When I came home, we came back home. Your father was sitting in front of her house, and I thought he was upset because I was out so late, but he was there to tell me that Daddy passed. Now, J. California Cooper, again, in that anthology, she was one of the authors. I have multiple of her books on the shelves as well. She's another one that I fell in love with.
I know you lying to me.
This is this short stories?
Yes.
Is it?
It says it on the front.
Okay. But I love J. California Cooper. I think Shelby, what did you read? Family. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And loved it. Or she's another great one. I love her stories. Michael Bazin was a radio personality. Out of the, I want to say DC area, but he wrote a book, Never Satisfied: How and Why Men Cheat. Again, more self-help, if you will.
How and why men cheat. Not to put my kufi on too tight, but why was you reading that?
I think this one was because if I look, I have a picture with him when I went to get this signed.
If there are any young girls watching this, stop giving men the benefit of the doubt and start doubting the benefit of men. Okay? Girl, stand up straight. Chin up, chest out. You don't need him, girl. And if you do have one, I hope you are spending every last penny he has. Use him, friend.
So if I remember right, this was more of a story than it was.
Whatever it is, I don't want no advice from a man about nothing. Yeah. Also, be friends with the women that hate men. They're the best friends you'll ever have in your life. I'm not taking applications currently, but.
So we talked about Zane. Yes. We talked about Terry.
Yeah, so I reread this last
Okay.
year, maybe.
All right. You
And I
weren't.
feel like it did not age well.
Okay.
I think it is maybe a true depiction of
The
friendship
time.
at the
At the
time.
time, yes.
And like this very, like it felt like the whole bit of the book was about having a man. Like their friendship was all surrounded by
Yes.
this want to be in a relationship or how to be in a relationship and so on and
Yes.
so forth.
Yes.
And just from my perspective as an adult, that didn't feel like friendship to me.
Okay.
Like it didn't feel, you know, the way that it's depicted, or even in the movie feels more like all of this life things are happening and they had this core group to like
Right.
sustain each other.
Right.
You know, like that's
Mhm.
what the movie feels like.
Mhm.
Versus this, I was like, has somebody been to the house to check on Terry? Was she all right?
Look, at just glancing, I see Push up there. That was another book.
Baby, why did you let me read that when
I
I
did. I
did?
didn't let you do anything.
My God,
I didn't
talk
know you
about
were reading it.
traumatized.
Yeah, that. But
Woo.
now, talk about adaptation. They did a good job, I think, with that movie.
As somebody that walks around telling people that my favorite color is fluorescent beige, and I often say, "You eat the pig's feet, precious." I don't know that I agree. I don't. I think Monique did a very good job.
Yeah.
But when people say certain things to me, I do look at them and say, and I shut my sup. Okay, I quote that movie a lot.
um.
But I don't
Val.
think
What?
to round it out, I don't think that they could have made an adaptation of Push that was viewable for the public with the
Right.
way that that book is written. If
True.
they would have done a true adaptation, the people probably would have rioted because that is covering some very dark stuff.
True.
So it's like, in a sense, you're correct. It is a very good adaptation for what they were able to do with the material that they
Right.
had.
I think they did a good job at getting the message across without, again, and again, they did traumatize half the world because most people will tell you in a minute they won't watch it again. Like they watched it, but that's not a movie that I'm going to go
That they're
back
gonna go
to.
back to see.
Right.
Speaking of movies that people will never watch again, you know, people watch Passion of the Christ like every Easter.
No.
I saw that one time and I was like, that radicalized Shelby of like 12.
I don't. I don't even know that I've ever watched it. To be honest
I
with you.
watched the entire thing. I also watched 12 Years a Slave.
Nope. I never watched that one either.
Yeah, no. 12 Years a Slave, that also, that was, I watched it because a whatever the literature course I was taking at the time, the teacher said that we would get extra credit.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, even if you know, rent it at home, like on your computer or whatever, you don't have to go to the movie theaters or whatever, whatever. So I'm like, okay, can't be that bad.
This one is signed to
From who?
Valerie Wilson
Oh, the,
Wesley.
oh, yes.
So she, another mystery. Tamara Hale was the detective, if you will. Um, so it's a series. This one, Easier to Kill, No Hiding Place, Where Evil Sleeps, Devil's Gonna Get Him, and When Death Comes Stealing. I believe all of them because I'm looking right there. There's Devil's Gonna Get Him. Um, if you like mysteries, this is another good one.
Okay.
Her series, I
And we recently read her most recent one, which is The Mysterious Death of Junetta Plum.
okay. She big fan. Like I said, multiple. I have multiple of her. Walter Mosley started it, and she kept me going. And I liked because I liked how he stayed with Easy Rawlins.
Mm-hmm.
So this was similar, where you go. Each story is the same. Tamara
Okay.
with different situations
Different
that
story.
she's
Okay.
trying to resolve. Yes, so she's another one that I read during the 90s that I loved.
Okay. Excuse me.
Um, and I don't know that she wrote anything else. Look her up for me,
What is her
Shelby.
name?
Shineska Jackson.
Say that 3 times fast.
So her first book was Caught Up in the Rapture, and I know that's on the shelves too. I just grabbed whatever I
Oh
saw.
yeah, it's a Caught Up in the Rapture, Blessings, Little Mama's Rules.
I,
So three.
Little Mama's Rules is on the shelves too. Um, so
Yeah,
she
it
was,
seems to be those three.
yeah, she was another. And this one, Caught Up in the Rapture, was her debut, and this was the next one. So again, I think I've shared with you guys how I um, would go looking for these books that I wanted, and odds are they didn't have them on the shelves, and I would have to order them. And every bookstore I went to, I made them order them. And whoever got it first is where I bought it from. But when the rest of them called, I would tell them keep it because somebody else is going to look for it. So um, I think I've said before that it really warms my heart that this is where Shelby is. Like, she enjoys these books. And I really get full when she starts looking on, like when we realized I had so many first editions of Toni Morrison
Mm-hmm.
when she went on the shelf. And a lot of these books are all first editions. Like, I didn't know that that was a big deal. But a lot of the books that we have.
Yeah, like this is a big deal.
Right.
Like this is the beginnings of
So many different
a lot
authors.
of
Yeah.
yeah. Like um this is very interesting. Like I plan to call Jess when we're done to be like, bro, there are stories in here that we only know as finished books. You know.
Right. Right. So there you have it. That is what and there's so many more. Like, we could go on and on and on. Just me glancing at the bookshelves from
I am
afar.
really mad about these water stains. Who raised you? Huh?
Terry McMillan, I have just about all of hers.
1990.
Huh?
This was 1990.
Okay. Um. So yeah, that's where my head was. I mean, there's some Eric Jerome Dickey on there. I see Cheaters, and what was his other book that everybody was up in the uproar when he was recently? Um, wasn't it him? It was the other one. Who was the one that the people was all in the uproar? Because why was he writing about them little girls?
That's Omar Tyree. But
Oh,
don't
Omar
speak about
Terra.
him.
Okay.
He like whatchamacallit. You say his name 3 times, that nigga
He'll
pop up.
pop up. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So
Big
then
cheeks.
Eric Jerome Dickey, I
Yeah,
didn't
because
talk
I'm
about
like, Eric
him.
Jerome Dickey, they was up in arms because he's passed within the last five,
Yeah,
6
yeah.
years.
And then you got Sisters and Lovers. Connie Briscoe is another one that I loved.
I'm amazed you can see that far.
Yeah, no, I'm
Because
they're cool. So there's another Valerie Wilson. I loved her, and there's another one that was like mystery, like a murder mystery. But again, I give all that credit to Walter Mosley. He got me in love with mystery, and it was a delight to find other Black authors that wrote mysteries. So I enjoyed that. So I think, yeah, that's what I was reading.
okay.
That's a good roundabout.
Yeah, I think there's like a good spectrum of genre here.
Yeah,
The only thing I would say that is missing that you like very much now is fantasy.
right. Because you kind of introduced me to reading fantasy. I've never.
No, you did that on your own. True Blood.
Well, true. I
You were
forget about True
reading
Blood.
like before now,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
were
yeah.
reading True Blood and Twilight. Like that was
Yes.
so you did that on your own, and I
Yeah.
think it's out of the love for the TV shows and the
Well,
movies.
True Blood. I started reading before the.
Right, but I mean not the actual shows, but like the things that we watch on TV
Right.
usually lean a lot towards fantasy anyway.
Right.
So I
Okay.
think because we were going to the movies to see Marvel stuff, we
Right. Right.
were,
Right. Right.
you
Right.
know,
Right. True. That's
Star.
true.
You've always loved Star Trek. You've always
True.
loved those type of things.
True.
So
True.
I
True.
think
True.
your love for fantasy grew on your own,
True.
and
True.
I may have expanded what fantasy means,
Yes.
like the spectrum of it all.
Right.
But you know that you take full credit for that because we've always watched
True. True.
the
Now that you put it that way, that's absolutely
if it had a flying, a witch, a
right.
vampire,
Right.
still to this day, what's this? I don't know. He dead, and he not. He's supposed to be dead anyway, and now he's back. Okay, what is this? There are aliens. All right,
Right.
you know
True.
that's always
True.
been.
That's so true.
We've always gone
True.
that route, and even I would say even the love that we have for more speculative fiction, like we've always watched the things that are, for like a better word, genre bending, like the Da Vinci Code. Like we were always gonna go see movies like that. We were
Right.
always gonna go
Yeah.
see, you know, the things that everybody was like, oh well, why would you want to watch that? Or it's going against whatever, you know, thing. That's always the type of content we've looked for or leaned towards anyway. Even I could say with my grandmother. Me and grandma used to sit and watch Charmed.
True.
Like our life depended on that, you know?
Right.
So
True. True. True.
that's why when a
Um.
lot of people ask me like where should I start with reading, I always say, what do you watch on TV? What do you
True.
watch on TV?
Good point.
Because that'll, you know, guide you. I was gonna say, don't you knock my camera over.
No, I'm not. I.
Um yeah, start with what do you watch on television? That will guide you in the right direction. But this was very informative. I, as somebody that is currently in a reading slump, I am interested in reading some of these, specifically this anthology.
Ha.
What
Here
you
it
looking
is.
for?
I was. You said the word, and it's like what you say it, and it'll show up. Anthology.
Oh yeah. Walk the other way.
So okay. So this one is.
They can't see you yet.
I'm coming. Sorry, guys. This one is edited by Gloria Naylor. It's Children of the Night, the best short stories by black writers, 1967 to present.
Okay, well, what's present? Dang, Maya
So Maya
Angelou,
Angelou, James
James
Baldwin,
Baldwin,
Rita Dove, Ralph Ellison, Charles Johnson,
Jamaica
Jamaica Kincaid,
Kincaid. If I can
Alice,
find this, I'll send it to
Gloria
Jess.
Naylor.
Again, John Edgar
Uh
Wyman is probably an introduction or a prologue. A preface, excuse me. Who phone number is that?
I have no idea.
You
Whoever
know,
the
back in
name
the
is.
before time, the children don't know this. The phone numbers didn't always have area codes, huh? Not I was about to take my glasses off too.
Editor's note: acknowledgement. Slavery, a
Okay.
personal past, the changing times, the family, the faith, the
Diary of an
self.
African Nun. James Baldwin. Tell me how long the train. I've read that. I've read the entirety of that book. Again, this is only
Right,
about 29 pages.
right.
I have that in my room.
So part 3 is revealing the self-divided, who we have not, them and us, moving on. Edwidge Danticat.
That's who was at when we went to see Tayari Jones, and I was like, look, and you was looking at me like, I don't know.
Your mommy did good
Remember
stuff?
when we went to see Jesmine Ward?
Yes.
Edwidge Danticat is who was interviewing
Her.
Jesmine Ward.
Okay.
And she is a very, very popular Haitian writer.
Okay.
So when we went to see Clavis Natera, and Clavis Natera talked about the book that inspired her to do research about all of this Dominican history that excludes Haitian people and why, she talks about Edwidge Danticat.
Okay. So, again, another collection by some really great authors.
Yeah, that's really cool. There's another one over there that you have that's if it's not over there, then I put it in my room. That's another anthology that had all of these names in it that I'm very familiar with. And this has a Margaret Walker
So I did good.
quote. Let a new earth rise, let another earth be born. Let another world be born. Let a bloody peace be written in the sky. Let a second generation full of courage issue forth. Let a people loving freedom come to growth. Let a beautiful full of healing. Let a beauty full of healing and strength of final clenching be the pulsing in our spirits and our blood. Let the material songs be written. Let the martial songs be written. I read for fun, okay?
I mean, I have Sonia Sanchez over there,
Let the
poetry. So yeah.
let the judges disappear. Let a race of men now rise and take control. Hmm.
So I think we did a good.
Diane Oliver, Neighbors.
We
Anne
did
Petrie, The Witness. So, okay, Neighbors, that'll be familiar to you because they recently republished all of her work. But Diane Oliver died when she was only 21, 22.
really
She only wrote, that was like her only thing that they had. So they
okay.
posthumously, I hate saying that word because it's not spelled, it's spelled like posthumously,
Okay.
but it's posthumously, it means
Right.
after death.
After death. Yes.
Um, so like I have that. That's actually a very good collection of stories because there's one, the one that you'll remember me talking about. The it's not funny. I have a sick sense of humor, and I've talked to a therapist about it already. They are a black family that lives kind of in the backwoods, and a white like school teacher, somebody from the district comes to figure out why their son is not enrolled in school. And you
Okay.
want to know what they did?
Uh,
They killed her.
okay.
And I said, you know, this is a good time.
Well, mind your business.
That part. But like Aunt Petrie, she's a really big. Like these are a lot of our greats in here.
I did good.
Yeah, no. So I'm assuming that Colleen McElroy is, um,
Related to answer.
yeah. Shay Youngblood, that sounds familiar. Joyce Carol Thomas. Oh yeah, I'm about to go online and be like, guess what I have that you niggas don't. That's so bad, Shelby. Guess what I have, but you have to go get. The stories collected here are not in chronological order because they aren't offered as documents of the changes in the society since the civil rights movement. They are too recent. We are still within them. I mean, still, girl.
Still,
Still on
absolutely.
today,
Yes.
sister.
Still.
Still not,
So there. Let us know. Any of these authors, have you read them? Did I pique your interest about anybody? Would you like to read them? Um, Talk to us in the comments. Let us know. Like, if you did this, what would be the common thread for what you were reading in the 90s?
all right. Use the links down below. And we should see you next Saturday. God
Yes.
willing, and the creek don't rise. You know, I said that to my god sister one time, and she asked me why I was
Oh,
speaking
I'm
to
gonna be
her
gone, so we're gonna have to record
early.
earlier.
When do you leave?
I leave on
Anyway, I
Thursday.
said that one time to my god sister, and she asked me why I was speaking to her in slave. So if you are ever concerned about why I am the way that I am, it's because I was raised
Around a
by a
bunch of
gaggle of
comedians.
niggas. Okay, love you. Bye.